Hi everyone! So today we're going to talk about CodeIgniter model, updating data. Okay, so let's talk about first the sample HTML template natin. So we have here yung list of posts natin in a table. So yung objective natin ngayon is once we click this button, edit, it would display this kind of output. Kung saan kinukuha natin yung current data ng isang post and displaying it within the form. And then once we click yung update post, of course, ma-update yung data niya. Okay? So that's the objective natin. So let's go back to our controller part. So we have here yung method natin. Of course, we display yung mga template files natin for the header, for the edit file, and for the footer file. Okay? Now let's try to check out yung template file natin for the edit. Okay, ito yun. So, it is within a form. Then, ito yung input or ang text box natin, input type text, which having a value yung HTML headings, paragraphs, and formatting. So, this is just a sample. Now, dito naman sa text area, ito naman yung content niya. Okay? So, if we're going to check it out, ito yung mangyayari. Yan yung output ng code kanina. Nandito yung title, nandito yung content. Okay? So, pero if every time we try to click yung edit, dapat dynamic yung content dito based sa specific post na pinipili natin na gusto nating ma-edit. Okay? Okay, so going back to our controller, so yung gagawin muna natin ngayon is to retrieve the current value. Okay? So, we're going to utilize yung get post na kung saan ito yung ginawa natin from our previous videos. Okay? So, we're going to utilize that one to get the specific post. And, of course, we also set here yung parameter which we can get this from the list of the table. Okay? Dito, having this URI, so the first segment will be the blog, the second segment will be the method, which is edit, and the third segment is yung ID, which will be the parameter here, the first parameter of this edit method. Okay, so using that ID, we try to retrieve yung specific post using this get post method. Okay, then assign it to the data post variable and pass the data to the view file. And let's go to our template file. So we're going to update this one. Okay, so in our input, we update the value using the post arrow title to display the specific title of the post and also the content here. Okay, then as you will notice here, yung name ng ating button is I also change it to update. Please take note the name of our input for the title, of course, title. For the text area, name niya ay content. Then, for the button, we have yung update. Then, you will also notice here, we provided a hidden input for the post ID. Okay? So, gagamitin natin to once masubmit yung form to reference the specific record in the database, kung alin ba yung i-update. Okay? Kaya naglagay tayo ng ganitong hidden input dito. Now, let's try to test if it works. We're going to click the edit button. Yun. Nag-display na yung content natin. Okay, based sa na-click nating post. Okay? Now, the next thing na gagawin natin is to make the method in our model. So, we're going to create a update post method wherein yung objective niya is to update the data of the post based on this ID. So, the post ID will be the reference ID of the post. Then, dito naman, we have yung associative array dito for the data in which we use yung this input post to retrieve the post data, which is the title, and the get input post content. Now, dito I used to call yung update method, which have a parameter. Yung first parameter niya will be the table name. The second parameter will be the data that we want to update. And the third parameter will be the where clause. Okay, which is it is also an associative array. The key here will be the field name, and the value here will be the ID that we're about to compare. Okay, so there are other ways actually to when having a query, making a query statement. So let's try to check it out muna. So there are two ways on updating data. So first we have what we call yung query basic. So using the query function, we are going to update the specific data using this kind of SQL string. Update my table, set title, yung title na gusto mo, then content, yung content na gusto mo, then yung where clause natin. Okay? So this function will return true or false depending on success or failure. Note, you need to escape the data or use the query binding instead to provide a safer query. Okay? Okay, so the next way is yung using query builder class, which is the update method. So this method basically generates an update string and runs the query based on the data you supply. You can pass an array or an object to the function. So ito yung example natin. So we have the data. Then we call the method, the update method. First parameter will be the table. Second will be the data, and the third will be the where clause. Okay, and we are looking for a record with having an ID of 15. So it will produce a query of something like this: update my table, set title, my new title, content, my new content, then yung where clause, which is ID equals to 15. Okay. So the first parameter basically contains the table name. The second parameter is an associative array of values. Then the third parameter will be the where clause. Okay, so the update method will return a response of true on success and also false on failure. Note, all values are escaped automatically, producing safer query. Okay, so that's the good thing about using query builder. It is because it is already providing us a safer query comparing to the query basic. Okay, guys? Okay, now since we already know what are the other ways of creating an update query, let's go back to our controller and update our edit method. Okay, now the first thing na gagawin natin is to check if the update button or the form was submitted ba. If hindi pa siya nasasubmit, then we're just going to display the form. Okay? But kung nasubmit na yung form, then we're going to update the post. So, yung ginawa natin dito is we call the method update post. Okay? Then, since there's a response coming from the update post, then we try to catch it and assign it to response variable. And then we utilize yung set flash data to provide a message once the form is submitted. So, pinasa rin natin dito yung response ng update post. Okay? Then after that, redirect it to the form itself. Okay? So now let's try to go to our form and update this code to provide yung alert message natin if the post was successfully updated or there's an error that occurs. So we try to check here yung flash data natin. If update post response niya ay true, then we're going to display a successful message. Pero kung mag-false siya, then we're going to display an error message. Okay? Now let's try this one. So let's try to click edit of this particular post, which is the responsive web design using CSS media queries. Okay? Now let's try to update yung data natin dito. So we appended a programming school na text on both title and content. And let's try to click update post. Okay, so the post was successfully updated. Now let's try to check the all posts. And you will notice that the title changes. And if we're going to click view, we also notice that the programming school is also appended to the title. And programming school to the part of the content is also appended. Therefore, we successfully updated our post. Okay? So that's how we can manage on updating a specific data. Okay? Okay, so I think that's it. So I hope you learned something new today regarding our topic, which is about CodeIgniter model, updating data. Okay, so if you did, please click thumbs up and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will not miss our upcoming uploads. Okay guys, so just like I always say, just keep practicing and never stop learning. Thank you for watching guys and goodbye for now.